His name's Rhapsody. My name's Sneaky Teak, and this is Rhaps and Teak Take a Peek this week at Fuzz Force Spook Squad. What's going on, Rhapsody? How you doing?
Games, Teak. Games are going on. There's a deluge thereof.
It's video games.
It's
Last
spell next week. This week, early access. There's the.
To be clear, this deluge started sometime towards the end of last year and has not stopped since then.
Yes, I feel like I had maybe a half week somewhere there to catch a little bit of my breath before another game came out and just knocked it back out of me, which is a good feeling, to be clear.
Oh, yeah. It's a good problem to have. It's been a year of looking at so many good games that you have to choose good games not to play. But that's part of the point of this segment, is that we get to play more of the good games. We get to check out more games at least. So, yeah. Should I intro the game and then we can chat and then we'll go in?
I'd love it.
You good with it? Okay, that's what we'll do. So this was a game that we got a key to a while back. The developer reached out to us and said, hey, I wanted to make something that is, similar to Spire-like games, post-Spire-like games, but with a bit more emphasis on the map. And that was what they said about the game in correspondence with us. On the Steam store, the description says, roll into a dicey deck builder set in a spooky board game world. Capture ghosts as the elite spook squad using their customizable dice-powered weaponry. Navigate eerie areas filled with battles, treasure, and random events on your mission to capture the ghoulish Polter Prince. And that's what we've got. What does this mean to you, Rhapsody?
I'll tell you, the thing that immediately jumps out to me, in fact, two things immediately jump out to me.
Right.
I'll go with the map first, which is that I've talked a lot, not only in the course of this series, but also over the course of Spy with Friends, also just generally about the wave theory of deck builders. And I
We're
feel
on the third wave now?
Yes. I feel increasingly that the third wave is being defined by changing the maps from the way that it typically functions. So obviously, Monster Train doesn't necessarily make huge differences, although I would still call that third wave. It makes differences in other areas. But I would say Roguebook, Tainted Grail, and the description of what Fuzzfasters are trying to achieve with that are changing the way the map is utilized, because previously it was largely just FTL node-based system, which is interesting and good, and it allows you kind of like a constricted design in the way that...
it's kind of hackneyed in a way,
right? A little bit.
We've seen it. We've played this out.
Just a little bit. And it feels like there are interesting things out there to explore instead, so I'm really interested to explore them in this. The second thing 100%. That jumps out to me is talking about it as post-Slay the Spire, whereas immediately, at least graphically on its face, as well as thematically, I'm reading more Dicey Dungeons, and it feels like Slay the Spire and Dicey Dungeons both instructed almost different, divergent, although sometimes convergent in instances, schools of deck builders.
So we got to see Row Zero. We got to see the origin of both of those games, but then, like you said, very, very different experiences. Absolutely.
Anything about it leap out to you?
Well, the deck builder age is interesting. We've been seeing more and more of these games, which are dice builders, not deck builders. And I think that's the thing that made me think immediately of Dicey Dungeons, because Terry Cavanaugh said that part of the reason to choose the dice was because he likes dice and he likes six-sided things. But the other reason is that as a game designer, game designers realize that players have an easier time playing with and kind of rationalizing things that they could imagine touching and feeling and holding and throwing themselves. And so when you have a game that has a factor of RNG, but you can represent that as something like a die, it's much more palatable. And so it's cool to see more devs using that to say, okay, well, instead of just it's fake numbers under the screen, it's here is a die. And you can even switch how this die works. You can invest in new dice, but when you roll it, it's going to land on a side randomly, right? There's something about that tangible experience that makes it easier for us to understand and more palatable for us when we get a 1. And I think that's kind of cool to think about.
Oh, wow. I hate to start the episode on a disagreement.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it goes completely the other direction. My case in example for this is back in 2016, 2017, there was a game called Tharsis. It was very clearly kind of like a board game kind of game that was translated to a PC.
Game, man.
I enjoyed it. I loved that game a lot, right?
It's great. I just mean, like, you have to eat your crew. Like, it's gritty.
Oh yeah.
Literally.
Oh yeah. The cannibalism is you feed. You have fewer mouths to feed because one of those mouths is feeding on mouths. It's perfect.
Oh god. That's
but
right.
one of the things that I felt a lot from the community at the time was being able to visualize the die made people feel worse when they got a low roll. It made them blame a lot more of the game, regardless of whether or not you had different ways to modify the die or use bad die in certain circumstances as well. It started to feel like a lot of people were responding to it as like, this is just an RNG fiesta. There's no skill involved in this. Because they could visualize the randomness element of it, and they had this kind of like biasing effect of only really remembering the outliers, and especially the outliers that killed them. So it's interesting to hear you talk about it very specifically in the opposite direction, because I've always felt like the more tangible you make that randomness element, the more things you need to include that counterbalance it, right? Ability to modify the die, ability to re-roll the die, ability to bring the die in a different circumstance, to have a 1 be the best thing you could have rolled in that circumstance. It's, oh, wow. I'm really intrigued by that.
Because so on one level, what you're saying makes a lot of sense to me. You've seen the bad outcome happen in a way that's really visual. I got a 1. You know, it's like playing D&D and rolling a 1. It's like, well, I guess critical failure, you know. But there are so many systems that you'll find in the world, if you start to look for them, that depend on this principle that I've described, and that Terry Kavanaugh describes as well, which is that even though rolling a 1 is unpalatable, it feels a little better when you did it. And that's really what it comes down to, is when you represent the die, you're saying you, the player, cast this die. And therefore, it was partly in your hands that the bad outcome happened. When you're playing a poker game and you're asked to cut the deck, the real reason for this is not so much to prevent cheating. It's now you've touched the deck. And so when you get dealt a bad hand, it doesn't feel like you got cheated. You're partly responsible for it because you moved the cards around. That's the real reason why they do this, is so that you can be like, oh, well, I didn't get cheated by the dealer. I did that. I set that up that way, right? So I don't know, but as usual, psychology, it's complex.
No, that's interesting, because that ties into the thing that I think the things that we are describing, though they seem completely
Opposite.
at odds, there is the nesting that brings them together, which is, I think that when you are in a circumstance like that, right, you need to feel like you had influence over it, right? You need to feel like you can modify the die, that you can use a bad die in a certain circumstance in a clever way to try and pull yourself out of a bad situation. I also think there is a little element of people didn't dig far enough into Tharsis to experience those parts of it, and I'm definitely grabbing a lot of my experience off of that game rather than necessarily the games that have followed since. But that is influence, right? The cutting the deck is you've had some investment.
Right. It's not just I touched it and I got the bad number. It's I see what you're saying. Anyway, this was an unexpected diatribe, but I love it because honestly, that's part of what we like to explore. We're not game designers. And I never pretend to be, you know. I'm not trying to pretend that I have any depth of mastery of how to develop games, but I play a lot of games. And I observe a lot of games, and I listen to what game developers say and what designers say. And the more games I play, the more I start to connect those dots. And I like that. I really enjoy picking up on those themes that kind of work across games, help us as players learn them, and help us enjoy them as well. So I'm excited to try out this game. I think it looks really, really cool. I appreciate right now more than ever games that look like they have a lot of polish and just nice visual touch. We've certainly played some great games that don't have a great visual touch. Not every game needs to look like Crysis or whatever, but I think this game looks pretty good. Actually, the thing that it reminded me of immediately is Mario Rabbids. Weirdly, when we get into it, you'll see the design has some of that like 3D, and they've got the guns. But I'm excited to play. I'm excited to check it out.
As am I. Should I'll start here as per usual. The options are exceedingly bare bones.
And what is the development level of this game again? It's early access, right? Yeah, we're early access. You can buy it. It's available, but it is EA.
It will be available from the link at the top of the description down below, or somewhere in the top of the description down below. Usually it has like a panel describing what the game is, and then the link at the very end of that. It's there.
Your
you may have
descriptions
to.
are beefy.
They really are.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
I feel like more is more in description terms, just because it has a show less kind of area that you can put as much in as possible. Also, it's worth noting, like, YouTube pulls keywords and things like that, so the more you put in there, you'll see sometimes people will put like a description of the game and then they'll reword the description and then put it down below itself and then do it a couple times. And it's just trying to get every different keyword they possibly could. I try and do just dense keyword at the very start and then all the links and stuff like that below.
There you go. You've been introduced to game development and also metagaming on YouTube. And now Fuzz Force.
And now you'll be introduced to Fun Force, exactly. Should we jump into the training area, get our sea legs?
We will jump into the top right corner.
Ah, a good point. Well made.
We live here now.
Mm-hmm. And we've never lived anywhere else.
This is the best
This
we've got. This game, as with so many games, has important information most places on the screen, but we felt like the top right corner was about the best we could do. This blocks the least.
Mm-hmm. So I will read the thing that you are currently missing, which is starting action dice. Action, shield, and charge represent the number that will show on the stat dice. We can see directly below them the attack, shield, and charge dice. 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 0, 1, 1, 3, 4.
Describing the sides.
Right. The stuff directly below us.
We're weighted towards the high end. This die is made to feel fair because we're usually not getting a 0 or a 1. We're usually getting these like mid to high level numbers.
Mm-hmm. Also got Finn's training rifle. At 7 or more battery, gain a third dice. So that is, it seems like some sort of like, as the fight goes on longer kind of situation. And then big shot, roll a high value die for big damage. Seems like that's probably going to be an ability.
Figure out what that means because it looks like we already have 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
We already have an attack, a shield, and a charge die, no? Well, we'll figure this out.
I have no clue. We're on the same level so far.
Yeah. All right, this is us. We have 5 bottles of poltergeists, 20 health numbers. We've got 7 HP. Is that a potion?
I think it's a slot for a potion, but I don't believe I can actively use it. It's grayed out.
Okay.
Either that's because we're on full HP or because we don't have any. Bottom right appears to be some sort of an inventory. We can see and modify our weapon here, it looks like, although... Oh, interesting. We actually do already have the ability to swap them. So we could make our attack less powerful if we wanted to.
That's... Okay, so the dice that are down on the bottom must have been pre-selected to not be on the top, basically, is what we think. Interesting, but you can move the dice around. Can you move the dice around on the top? Can you switch the 5 and the 6?
Yeah.
What? And so what's the one with the lightning bolts?
I do not yet know what the lightning bolts exactly mean.
We should keep them in the damage, just in case.
Just in case. Okay. I don't know if these were initially swapped at all.
I definitely have that sense, like, you know how the first time you use a new technology, you're like, I don't want to touch this because I'll mess it up.
Yep.
Like the first time you ever opened up Microsoft Word or whatever, you're like, I can't type because it might be, whatever I do is irreversible.
Yeah, I'm 7. Like this might be the command line. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Let's go fight some polter things.
Hell yes. Should we cut across or down?
I think we should go down. Based on literally 0 logic. Honestly, in hindsight, across may have been better, but here we are. We're training.
I didn't know where the border of the map was, so if there was like another layer down here, I would have gone across, down, across, down, across. You know, effectively the solution of how do you step on every single different switch in the Pokemon dungeon or whatever it happens to be at the time.
Right. You can't say stuff like that because I'll have to go like, tonight I'll go replay a Pokemon game. Which is to say that for the next mini nights, that's what I'll be doing.
Yep. It feels like it gets under your skin really, really easily, and then you just end up playing an emulator at 200% speed.
May I read this?
Yes, please do.
You may. Bonus rolls. Before every battle, chest shop, and blacksmith, you'll be offered to roll the bonus dice. There are 2 dice with different effects, and both are rolled at the same time. 4 faces of each dice give very helpful effects, but the other 2 are quite bad. It costs 2 ghost jars or 1 HP to roll the bonus dice, but you don't have to. Spend that health.
Let's do it. We need to know what it does.
Yeah, I suspect that the ghost jars are money. Health is all stats +1. Lucky turns make you charge. Interesting. Okay. So it's like a random effects roll.
Yeah, giving you positive or negative, possibly.
Which
modifiers
is
for the
2/3
battle.
positive. Right, but could make this fight harder.
Theoretically could have. So we have some options over here on the side. Hints, enable and disable tips that show once you've selected an action. We've got our turn counter, our surrender, so the top line is not necessarily going to need to be interacted with too often. Big shot is the bottom here. It is not charged enough to utilize yet.
That must be the 3rd dice.
It might
remember
be.
It said like if you get enough charge, you get a 3rd dice or whatever.
I think those are 2 different abilities though.
Okay.
I think I'm not certain. I mean, look, let's click attack and then figure out how it works. Would you like to read this too?
Sure. Attack. Red dice lower the enemy's health. Okay. You roll your equipped action dice, which uses the numbers directly from the dice, and stat dice, which has your attack stat on each face. I was hoping that dice would be used a 4th time in that sentence, but it was not. Action has the borders, stat does not. The action dice uses battery to do damage equal to the rolled number and fills your special gauge by the same amount. If that number matches your selected lucky number, you get a 2nd turn. This does feel like a board game, actually. It really does. Like, it's going to take me 30 minutes to remember all of these words and phrases, and then we're going to be masters, which is very board gamey.
Getting an extra turn as well, a quite board gamey kind of thing. So, with no selected lucky number, I guess we just roll. 3 damage, and then we've got each of these that are just 2 on all sides, so they just do 2 damage. Oh, yes. Okay, so our attack stat is 1, but we rolled the die before the start of the battle, and we got +1 to all of our stats. +1. So these are just guaranteed results, right? Those are effectively kind of like counterbalances to volatility in rolls.
That's what it was saying. You've got the 1 die, which has much higher numbers, but has more randomness and draws from some resource, our charge, right?
Yes.
Or our battery. Not our charge, our battery, which is diff. Does charge fill our battery? Probably does.
It probably does, but I do not know yet.
We'll have to try. What about enemies? Enemy dice. You want to read this one?
Sure. Enemy dice. The enemy will roll their intent dice to determine their action. The result will either be an attack, a shield, or a skill if the enemy has them. We can see the 6-sided of the die, I imagine, here. Or not, because it looks like they have mostly attacks. Right. So those would be skill of different levels, right?
I see.
The enemy
attack is the red. Yeah.
Yes. The enemy may roll numbered die based on the intent. Some enemy skills do not require a rolled number. They roll for attack. And then 2 damage. Rude.
Not too bad. But I guess now we know we can blank. But how do we know what the enemy's going to do?
Yeah, the intent system appears to show up after you would be able to respond to it. Do we want to preemptively block? Just see what that do?
Can we click the enemy?
No. They are not an intractable element.
Let's try to blank. Let's blank about it. Shield. Yeah, sure. Blue dice block enemy damage. Shield weaken before your next turn. You roll your equipped action dice. Again, that's the bordered one, which uses the numbers directly from the dice, and stat dice, which has your shield stat on each face. We're 1s along the bottom, but we're 2s now because of the roll before the fight. The action dice uses battery to create a shield equal to the rolled number and fills your special gauge by the same amount. If that number matches your selected lucky number, you get a 2nd turn. We don't have a lucky number, but if we did. Okay. Can we select a lucky number?
Fills your special gauge. I think that is referring to the ability to use the big shot.
Yes. And then you just have like a free big attack. So you're kind of incentivized to shield and charge and then big shot. Can you click on the lucky, or is that just not part of the tutorial maybe?
I can't seem to interact. Whoa, that is a lot of shield. Cannot seem to interact with it at all right now. It also says shields weaken before the next turn. It doesn't say they disappear.
We have like a calipers kind of effect, I guess.
Yeah, right? Is it going to take like 50% of it away? Is it going to take
Let's see.
some amount?
Only
Negative
-2? Okay,
Did we lose
so you just
25%
shield
or
up.
-2?
That's a good question. Well, we'll see after this next one. We can big shot immediately. I kind of want to charge just to see the one other thing, and then we'll big shot after.
Charge.
Okay, this is you.
Green dice restore battery. Your stats increase by your charge stat for your next action. You roll your equipped action die, which uses the numbers directly from each face, and the stat die. The action die recharges battery equal to your rolled number and fills your special gauge by the same amount. It's substitution from the previous one.
All the same. Yep.
Quite similar. Although
we have less die.
We have fewer, exactly. This might
Fewer
be
dice.
what it's trying to say. Like, if you have above a certain amount of charge, you have the third of these.
It's specifically for charge. Okay, I see. Ching.
Attack, shield, and charge boosted by the charge stat. So we must have rolled a lucky number there, right? But the lucky
No,
is
I think
nothing.
that's what it said. It said that about charge specifically. It said that next turn your move will be boosted by your action roll.
Okay.
So it's kind of like free to charge as long as you're not taking damage when you do it, right? That's the trouble. This enemy looks like they're trying to do some polter business, but we should just destroy them. Special. Each character has a unique special skill. Using the special skill requires filling the special gauge by the numbers on your action dice. Modules which add dice do not add them to special skills. Special skills do not use battery and cannot activate the lucky number. Try using them on a lucky turn. Ah, you get an extra turn, so you just use it to... I see. That was like the bottom roll, but it doesn't matter because it's... We healed right there.
Did we? Huh.
We totally healed. Was that from the big shot? We should just take a ghost jar.
Intriguing.
We don't need heals.
Yeah, let's go for that.
We need money. We need money.
Do we want to
maybe we didn't.
explore the corner or cut across? Yeah, it doesn't look... Because we
Yeah.
took 2
I
damage
don't
from
know
the
what I
enemy and we
saw.
dealt 1 damage to ourselves.
No, this is definitely where we were. I saw some animation that looked like a bar filling, but I don't know what it was.
Maybe we collected a ghost jar because we got one after the battle, but we started on 5. We're on 7 now.
Right.
I'm just gonna move us up this space, see if...
Yeah, wherever you want to go. Let's go through the woods.
Is there any resource that is determining how many spaces we can move, like a kind of
That's a good
encroaching
question.
threat? Ooh.
Oh my.
Would you like to take this one?
Your phone rings. It's the captain. Winning a battle gets you a ghost jar, which is money. Then you get to choose a second ghost jar, or a module, which are passive abilities you equip. If you get a dice or module that you don't equip, it goes into your backpack for later use. When a module or your weapon's ability is activated, it pops out its name. You can hover over the icons by your HP bar to see what they do.
And what about stats?
Each agent has... What is it? I assume it says attack shield.
Stats for attack, shield, and charge these.
These are represented in battle by a second dice with the same number on each face. It means you always get something each turn, and they don't use up battery. Very useful. Stats are increased by stat points earned from capturing ghosts. Capture as many as you can to become the strongest you can be. The captain hangs up.
Onwards!
Good chat. Good
Look,
chat, captain.
he knows. He knows. Brevity is the soul of wit right there.
What is our cursor? Is it like an acorn? Is it a heart? Is it a butterfly?
It looks a little like a hand.
It's a
like,
little bitty
like
hand.
a paw, but like
Oh, that's
represented in 3D space.
I can barely see it. I'll try to zoom so I can.
Ooh, we're rolling for loot. You want to
yeah.
spend some HP on rolling for loot as well?
It totally is a little paw print, isn't it? That's super cute.
Mhm.
Yeah, we should keep spending HP. We don't need it.
Yeah. Enemies aren't allowed to hit us. The dice has no status effect. It's a rare dice. Okay. Oh, did we just loot that and now we have that? Oh, we do.
Boom. Boom. Okay.
It's quite a high value dice.
That dice is a big one.
Oh,
Yeah.
big.
Oh.
So
if you put it into the stats, yeah, it seems like that doesn't change our stats. Are stats based on the bottom number? No, because they're still ones when you try to do that.
Yeah, that's the thing that I don't seem to understand
Stat
here.
dice are doing something weird, right? It almost seems like the stat dice don't care what kind of die you put in.
It seems like that. Yeah, I don't. Maybe if I put the charged ones down there, it'd have some difference.
It's still, if you hover over it, it still shows what the die is that's below it. Right? Like this die is 0, 1, and 2, and you're getting 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Because it
now
rolls
put
at
the new die
+1.
in. Put the rare one in, and now look at it. Okay, so this has actually changed it. It's just weird because the die is representing your stat, but this would mean that the stat die are better. Like we are getting bigger numbers, which might even be valuable because, as an example with attack, you don't use your charge when you're rolling your stat die, but it doesn't fill your special gauge, right? That's the difference. So this is the trade-off. You want your biggest dice in the top row because then you fill your special quickly. But you want your biggest dice in the bottom row because then you won't run out of charge. So I guess that's the trade-off.
Hang on. But this is 3, 3, 4, 6, 9, 9, and the results out of it are not 4, 4, 5, 7, 9, 9.
Wait, you're totally right.
Huh. Intriguing.
Something very math is occurring here.
Let's leave that one in there. We can pop that back out and put that in a different area if we need to later, right?
We will not break this Microsoft Word.
Oh. Oh, these are probably passive modules if I had to guess.
Yeah, like relics.
Yeah,
like that. The pre-fight heal that we could have picked up, but we didn't because we needed money. Money.
Well identified on the Ghost Jars being money, by the by. Dice are found with status effects, which... Oh, actually, sorry, this is the captain. This is you. The missing words are effects which activate. No, I liked your captain. That's good.
Dice are found with status effects which activate when you roll that symbol. On a standard dice, the status symbols are on the 1, 3, and 6. Each status effect is identical when used as an attack, shield, or charge dice. If you put the dice in an action slot, the top row, it will roll with all of its numbers and 3 status symbols. Putting it in a stat slot, bottom row, changes each face to your stat value and has 2 status symbols. So this is specifically talking about status effect dice, to be clear.
Putting it in a stat slot, bottom row, changes each face to your stat value and has 2 status symbols. No, I think you were originally right. So
that the dice on the bottom aren't being respected.
Yeah, they're being overridden by the stat.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So that means we do want to actually swap that out to a different one.
I kind of want to roll it on the bottom just one time just to see it, just to verify.
Let's do that while we're in the training area. But before that, tell me more about dice.
Is it rare?
Uncommon or rare with the.
Dice can be found as common, uncommon, or rare with the numbers, increasing with rarity. Status effects power up with dice rarity going from gray to white to yellow as the strongest. For example, it can extend the duration of a burn. Dice can be upgraded, and the upgraded values are shown in brackets. Putting an upgraded dice in a stat slot increases the stat by 1. As usual.
That's
Captain
what we were
brevity.
seeing. The parenthetical was the upgrade that it would move to after a prospective upgrade.
Okay.
All right. Let's leave it in that slot, get into another battle, and then we'll see thereafter. Who needs HP? Not
We
us.
don't need this. This resource is for spending.
That's okay. We start the battle with regen.
Hey, we're paying off our debt, baby. So, are you thinking what I'm thinking, which is that? Oh, okay, lucky number system, good. Oh, and this actually it makes sense to pick number that we can actually hit, like We could definitely have ones as our lucky number. And that would be a pretty good bailout.
Let's do that at the moment. It also seems to have pre-selected that. Maybe it's pre-selecting the mode that we have.
Yeah, because I'm looking and there's 5 ones.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's like if you're only going to attack, then you just pick 3, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's true as well, right? Like if you also do know the enemy before you go into the fight, so you will have a little bit of information. I typically need to shield more in this, for instance. Let's set it to the 1. Most common number across your dice
like
is
that because it
pre-selected.
feels like a recovery move too. It's like you rolled poorly, so now you get to have a second turn.
Mm-hmm. Let's start out with a defend here.
That's what I was gonna say. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, I think that we pretty much just lead with block. Seems to work.
Interesting.
It's not like we can over attack.
The companion die for the defend has a 2 and a 1 instead of both of them being the same number.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Curious. You also get 3 health every turn from regenerate health.
3? Oh, we have total of 6. It goes down.
Yep. Looks like that is the stack number in the bottom corner as well.
Cool.
So that's also interesting. We had 2 shield there and we lost 1. Previously we've had 8, lost 2 to get to 6, had 6, lost 2 to get to 4. Here it didn't want to remove all of it, so it is some percentage rather than a flat 2 removal.
It's probably a percentage in its ceilings to make sure that you don't get stuck at 1. Like, it always decays. 25% rounding up.
At 7 or more battery, gain a 3rd dice. Actually, we don't even have a 3rd dice at all. For any of them.
I see.
Although we're lucky.
We lucky, baby, which means now we can use the turn to charge. Which is cool.
I like it. Eventually, we will do the attack as
oh wow,
as we'd promised ourselves.
We can chain lucky turns.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
If you're
because we did roll the 1 there, but it didn't give us it.
That's neat, but you don't get anything for it.
The big shot has not necessarily been charged too much. Let's just roll out and attack.
Slay for days. Agreed. Big.
That's interesting. So we got a 2 and a 5 out here for the stats.
That's where we put the big die.
Yeah.
So the big die is affecting it. But is there randomness, or is it always going to be a 2 and a 5?
I do not
How does
know.
It work?
We'll attack again and we shall see.
You know, I thought that when I saw the dice that I would have that, Terry Kavanaugh experience of like, I get it. It's all tangible to me. But actually, I don't know what's going on.
So they aren't consistent.
It's clear to me that there are dice.
We've got a 1 and a 2 this time instead. Not entirely certain what's functioning on that.
It's weird. You know what I think is happening? I think that the do they call them stat dice?
Yes.
I think the stat dice are rolling. And then every side is being set to whatever value they roll. And so it might actually be value town every turn to look through the 3 options and see which stat dice are strong.
That's why I think that can't be it. Because of exactly that reason. That would be weird.
That sounds bad. Yeah, I agree.
Gain 3 battery when a dice effect is rolled. We don't really have that many effects. We want to take another one of these. Money. Get a little bit more loot. See if that gives us any more information.
Health. 2 money.
Rare dice upgraded.
Upgraded. Rare dice. What we got?
Nice dice.
It's full of bubbly. It's full of slime.
So this is going to be
effect.
long duration poison, if I had to guess.
I think it's gold, dude. I think it turns your enemy into gold.
I'm ready to transmute my enemies into gold.
Directly to gold, please. Which of these 2 dice is better?
Well, of those 2, the one that's currently plugged in, definitely.
So, did we move the good die from the stat to elsewhere, or are we keeping it there?
I have not yet moved it. Could move it easily, though.
I'm happy with it there. Our attack rolls were beefy.
But, like, I want to see what difference it's making is the thing.
Yeah. We could put it up in the charge slot.
Let's try that.
That's pretty sick. I guess one thing with the action dice is that you kind of want them to have an overlap of numbers so that your lucky number actually gets hit. Because right now they're pretty splayed.
Yeah, they're pretty all over the place. It says no status effect, but it is uncommon.
Oh.
And it is just a higher number.
The numbers are big. I think the part that's going to make it not just numbers are big is the status effects. Because otherwise it's going to kind of be like, it's going to kind of have that Borderlands sense of like stare at the dice to figure out which one has the best stats. You know, it's like dice gazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-oh.
This has no coverage.
It's the captain again. An event could have the option to roll a dice for great reward. The option displays which dice and numbers you need to roll and a % chance of success. Your dice values are shown above this book. Give it a try.
Try rolling an attack then.
Yep, because it looks like shield is awful. What is it that we need to hit? Roll a 1 or a 2?
It can't be a 2 because the shield has no chance of doing it. So it's got to be
exactly
something higher.
It must be, yeah. But
5 is not the right number.
Why did it say? Oh, it was showing us what numbers we could roll, and we don't have those represented. Right. We could have rolled I see. What are my words?
Oh, sorry.
Please
in a real mission,
It's like line. Don't worry about it this time. In a real mission, the rewards could be worth the risk, but there could be serious consequences of failing a dice skill check. Even worse than walking away by choosing the bottom option. Captain of Brevity.
Okay.
Onward.
A good point. Well made.
We will fight more boards. We do not need health where we're going. It's kind of interesting. There's more stuff going on outside of our board. I really like that effect in games.
Yeah, I like that kind of like situation within like a real game world. Like Hand of Fate was considered quite revolutionary for its presentation factor of that. Exactly. We got a lot of 3s.
We do, especially if we're not going to shield a lot, which maybe we don't.
So the burn status is lose 1 HP when attacked without shield.
I suspect that means when they don't have shield.
Yes.
So maybe we should attack them on turn 1 and punish.
Let's go for it.
Punishment.
Oh, our 5 battery came into this battle. We didn't start on full.
That surprises me. That we don't charge between fights. That is kind of that is kind of like the Dicey Dungeons feel of, you know, meta management of like your level ups and your skills and stuff. You try to leave every fight with your skill really ready in case the next one's bad.
Yep. So we'd want to charge before the end of most combats? But then we still have to kill after that. So if we roll a high number,
I think the idea is that you charge and then big shot. So that you kill without using charge. You want to end on your finisher.
Let's continue punishing this nerd.
This nerd should get pretty punished.
It's also important.
Them. Can you see what that does?
Yes. Loses 2 HP when a battery is gained or drained. Also, every single individual die, the stat die count as an individual hit, so they were doing the burn damage as well.
Got it. Which was why 3 die would be very powerful indeed. So now I guess we're pretty much charging. Did we just heal?
Yeah, we had regen from the start of the fight from rolling the buff die. Oh, that's a 9.
Whoa. We're going to overcharge here. What does that even do? Damage, apparently.
Yeah, that might have been.
Because we gained charge, so that activated the lightning, the zip zap. That's what was happening there. So we could put lightning into the shield slot and then put the gold into the attack slot. You slaughtered them. They're dead. Nope, they're bottled.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they
That's
were
what I'm gonna
already
start
dead.
saying. Whenever I play rogues, we didn't die. We just got bottled.
Mm-hmm. We are now a money resource for whomsoever killed us.
Training complete. Okay, okay. I want to play a mission.
Let's
I'd
do
like
it.
to play a mission. I feel like I get it enough. I get it enough.
I have still a few misunderstandings on adjusting the stat die and adjusting the normal die.
Same.
Drafty dungeons. I like it. We also have choices of characters here. We've got Finn with a dice rifle, Dottie, Lix, Mecha Pepper. Mecha Pepper, not Papa.
Mecha Papa. I thought that Mecha Peppa was the frog. No, frog is Lix. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Lix on a, he's...
Thematically, should we go with Dottie? Because we have both the outlines of Dottie on either side of us.
It's true. And it says using attack twice in a row adds your charge stat, which means this is Go Face Dog.
Mm-hmm.
And we like Go Face.
They've the Doodle Dash, gain dodge, and roll both a shield and charge die as their ultimate ability. So their ultimate ability is instead defensive, whereas the previous was aggressive.
I like that. Flip the script.
Mm-hmm. It also looks like they have different loadouts here that just completely change the way they're played in terms of the passive and active they begin with.
They change both things. That's kind of surprising to me.
Let's
you
not
want to go
turn
with the
on any of
default loadout
specials.
and just
yeah, because I mean the default may as well have been any of these as far as we are concerned.
Right. right.
Bonus flaws.
Bonus.
Let's go.
In we go. What is so there's a chest above us. And that's a rest site?
That seems like it'd be a rest site of some kind, definitely, yeah.
Right. Unless it's another. Let's go to the chest. Let's get some stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the play, right?
More tools in the utility belt. Typically good.
Spending that health. Health is a resource. Face is a place. A rare dice and a potion.
And a potion. So is that going to increase the amount that we can heal with potions individually?
I guess.
I think I need to get out of my mind that this stat number has anything to do with the die directly above it. I think they just represent it.
That literally, yeah, and up top, so this is what's confusing is, those just represent the stat number, but what do the ones up top represent? I think it's the highest number on the die.
Yes. Yeah, I think these represent the highest that can roll, because like this has got 7 as its highest, represents the 7 instantaneously. Yeah, I think you're right on that one.
So do we want to put the big... So what's the status effect on our attack die? Is there a way for you to see that?
No, not that I'm aware of just yet. Oh, there totally is. Gain 1 to 2 to 3 dodge. So 1 would be a unlit version of it. So it's 2 on those, which avoid an attack or static when you have no shield. So they are an aggressive pushing kind of thing.
Okay, so we might not actually want to change that out. We might want to put this new one in like the charge slot. What is it? It's battery probably?
It is battery. Is this a thing though? What if it goes down there and we roll dodge and charge at the same time?
That's dodge and charge? That's mad hype, and then it's filling itself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, screw the other stats. We don't need that stuff. Nobody does. Nobody ever even... Oh, that's our way out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we
should probably...
Yeah, let's get value.
Cut across and back down. Oh, this might be consumed, but hey, we need to know what it is. It could be a merchant of some kind. Oh, roll for discounts. Yeah, it's a merchant.
We wouldn't roll money for money. Hell yeah. Shop price is -2. We can afford stuff.
Upgrading your first
dice gives you a potion. This is an upgrade. This shop is upgrades.
Let's go into the upgrades. Watcher agent. Watcher agent. Is it time for the upgrades? Every blacksmith has to have... I have no clue. I assumed it was kind of like a... how's it going? Yeah, like the kind of thing that is... it serves a role in language, but no one really responds to it.
Right, yeah. Right. It's just a filler, basically, yeah.
Yeah, your perfunctory greeting.
I think that blacksmiths can sometimes be pirates.
Watcher
agent. Is it time for an upgrade? Hey.
I quite like that one as well. That's a good interpretation thereof. Should we upgrade our strongest things or our weakest things?
Let's upgrade things that go in the attack slots. I need to
So-
know if speedrun strats are strats for us.
This straight up upgrades the majority of the
All of
die.
it. Except for
However,
the top end.
do we think we're going to sub this out for another die very quickly?
Right.
Do we
I don't
maybe
know, the
want to
dodge
upgrade
seems-
this instead? Would this even
Well,
do
we can-
anything
we can
if it were upgraded?
We can do both. Upgrade it because we need to know. Well, we should try to do both if it'll let us.
The jars? This not task. I think we'll
It's
do
the same
this once
cost.
more.
Yeah. I think that's worth. Can it be upgraded again? Can't do more with that one. Can't do that, my liege. You want to save money from here?
Yeah,
We're just going to roll the red dice.
I like
the
it.
strategy is clear.
I feel like face is the place or smorking or just being hyper aggressive is often a really, really good way to get into the style of the game. You learn a lot
Yeah.
whilst doing it.
Yeah, because it's going to be like, oh, that's the place I was not allowed to do that. I am dead.
Mm-hmm.
What are you?
Ooh, roll for buffs. This appears to be an enemy of a kind. I do
This
want to
is
know when I'm not
definitely
going to
an
want to
enemy.
roll for buffs. Oh, battery starts at 1.
Oh!
Okay, there we go.
Your specials give lucky turns. Yikes. Well, that's
Welp.
rough.
Indeed.
But I like one still. And,
Should we start out with
I
the
guess
charging turn then? Or do we
Don't we
just go
charge by
all aggressive?
attacking?
Let's charge by attacking. You're right.
Face continues to be the place. We might actually need to charge. I don't know how much this is going to give us.
We're avoiding an attack that would lower our HP, so...
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
This is just a Healy elephant. We might actually have to charge at some point because now we don't. Our action die don't do anything. Action dice, douses.
What, one of these is green, Teak.
Is
I've
that our
noticed
special?
that green is not... using attack twice in a row adds your charge stat die. Yeah, there you go. You're 100% right.
So we do care about our charge stat die. It
Mm-hmm.
needs to be good. Lucky. Wait, did it get canceled because we didn't have the charge to do it?
I don't
It had
know.
no effect, but except that, we did get the lucky turn, so that's good. So now we could either charge or attack again. I'm sorry. Did you say attack
Again? Yeah. That's all I heard.
I don't know if you said anything else, but I only heard one thing. This dodge might be too powerful. Then again, this enemy doesn't appear to attack. Maybe we should try to be at maximum charge before we leave. I don't know. Face is the place.
Yeah, it still went through. We got to 9.
We're on good charge.
Oh, I love that head tilt to the end.
Any action gain an all try status dice?
And all
Let's-
try status dice.
I don't know what that means, so we need it.
It's only one way to find out.
In you go.
Any action. Gain an all 0 try status dice.
So okay.
So
And
it's
it's all
a way to
zeros.
apply statuses without extra damage.
Right. Health is a resource. It's nice when they come to you upgraded. I like that. Okay.
Mhm.
So we want to upgrade our charge stat die.
Yep.
And hey, this one makes shields. This is perfect.
Interestingly, we are actually changing our charge number with that one.
Really?
Yeah. The base is +3. This is +4.
Is it because it's upgraded?
It might be just because it's upgraded, yeah.
I think so because our attack stat went up when we upgraded it was a 3. So it must be and I think something in the tutorial said that too. Every once in a while we get these comments. So if you're about to type this, I see you. That's like, I really wish that you guys would notice the things in the tutorial and let me just sympathize with you. I also wish that I remembered everything, but it takes me a few times, you know. I think I'm a pretty smart guy, but when I'm playing games like this, I don't always pick it up and internalize it the first time. Sometimes it takes me a couple.
Yeah, if you don't have the right context through which to understand it, it can just bounce off. So sometimes I found myself in situations.
You read it and it just goes.
Yep. I found myself in situations occasionally where like I've played a game, I played its tutorial, and then I played a mission or two, and then I've gone back and played the tutorial again, and I understand it better, and then I've got things cemented from then on out.
Exactly. Read the book, read the spark notes of the book, read the book again. So
battery
we're getting some rough rolls, but the good news is we don't need battery where we're going.
Exactly.
Unless this enemy says something evil. They might like say, oh, they're dodging too. Does that decay? Whatever. I
think it just stacks.
Okay.
But individual, like each of these rolls is probably something they would roll individually, right? So we get the status effect regardless of whether or not we actually have the ability to activate the damage because we have the power, although the charge got used.
Yes. Okay, so charge will get used on the enemy dodging. That's good to know. And we burn the enemy too. And I don't think they're going to be making much block because they're dodgy. What's the X? What's the X?
X is immune to all status effects except pranked. So I wonder if that means that burn won't trigger on them currently, or if I cannot put more burn on them. Only one way to find out. Ooh!
4 dice.
So this anti-action is just happening constantly. We are constantly rolling for another status.
This seems like it's pretty good.
It does. I think the limitation factor is going to... So is that miss the dodge or just the action? I think the limitation factor is going to be the... also, by the way, burn did trigger there, so we just can't put more burns on them at this point. Limitation factor is going to be the amount of those that you can have at any one time, right? Because you can have 3 modules. You can only have 3 modules. Yep. So maybe we find others and it's like, you know, a random status every turn. It just ain't cutting it anymore. I remember when that was great. I remember those days. Our attack just gave us charge and defense.
I love that we can just attack. We have simplified the strategy of this game to click the red button. I'm about it. Because now I get to watch the pretty fights. And we're thinking macro level.
Exactly.
Where do we get the bigger number dice?
I've said before, like, one of the things they consistently try and do is break the game and then figure out how I broke it and work backwards from there. Poison is lose HP equal to the stacks, then halves the stacks.
I like the physical representation of our shield, by the way. That, like, barrier. It's cute.
A lot of this is quite incredibly cute. Ooh, counterattack. When attacked, attack with your attack stat, which is 4. So anytime we're attacked, we attack back.
Place.
Face is the place.
We need it. We're going to get attacked.
If our attack stat was like 2, 1, 0, probably not worth it. Here, while we're randomly rolling burns on them consistently as well.
You should read one, because I had so many captain in the tutorial.
Greetings, traveler! Shouts a voice from the darkness. They step out from behind a bush and continue. You look a bit battered. Do you require the healing of the forest? I want 3 of your ghost jars as payment. You notice huge antlers and a bright rainbow-colored shawl.
We do not need healing.
This is an event as well. If we rolled the event, it's probably like less money to heal us, but we might be locked into the action. We could just say, no, strange forest person. I do not want any of your potions.
Need healing from you.
I
do like your shawl.
I need your least potions.
Potion seller. I'm going to battle, but I don't want your potions.
You also might be right? Maybe sweet talking is like, I'm not interested in potions, but that shawl looks pretty good. And the shawl is like heal 2 at the end of a fight or something like that. I don't know.
Well, you know what I think, and that's that you can click the option, and the worst thing that will happen is we will lose. Which is not so bad.
Oh, you're a forest person too? I mean, excuse me then. My services are free of charge and a little bit extra. The forest can be dangerous after all. The healing energies refresh you for about 80.
We're clearly a forest person. Look at that tail.
And we are going to be able to use the money that we just saved there on some upgrade. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. No, we're not.
Never you mind. Do we want to go inside or?
We're good. We're just window shopping. We don't need this.
We
appreciate what you're doing here with this total scam that you have set up in the bottom left corner.
Mm-hmm.
This must be like on the highway, you know, and it's desperate travelers, and they're like, "Ah, yes, that Twinkie, $16.
Yep. This is the last gas for 500 miles any direction.
That's a Twinkie. That's $16. They're like, "You seen any more of these made recently?" And then you're like, "Dang, checkmate. They don't make those."
All right, here's my DSB and my account number and my Swift code. Just drain it all. I would like that Twinkie, please.
That one in particular, it will survive through the nuclear apocalypse. I'm sure of it. I will give you 1 Coke bottle cap.
Has Zombieland 2 come out even?
I don't know.
Sorry, that was Woody Harrelson's question, I think. Let's give him the old bops. Oh, lucky! Never mind, it's good. That's actually another reason that you might want to set lucky to a lower number than you necessarily otherwise would.
It's a recovery.
Yeah.
When you have a good turn, you already had a good turn. When you have a bad turn, why not have another turn instead? Exactly.
Gave him some static. So loses 2 HP when battery is gained or drained. But does the enemy have battery or do we have battery?
It's us. It's our battery gaining and draining. Which basically means you're just doing damage every turn.
Drain.
Here we're going to lose 2 battery and then it'll do damage.
We lost 2 battery. We did the 2 damage for the hit and 1 damage for the burn, but we didn't do 3 damage for the draining.
Maybe drain is special. Maybe it means gained like charge, or the enemy drains it, not just used.
Mm-hmm.
Because I definitely saw the damage go off. We did it right there.
Yeah.
We did it right there when we gained charge.
It worked on gain.
Mm-hmm.
So usage is not drain unless drain is getting down to 0. Because gain did not have a capital G, but drain had a capital D. So maybe the drained state is at 0.
Right. By the way, it lets us keep playing after this enemy is dead, which is cool because we got our charge off at the end.
Nice.
Zombieland 2, that movie came out quite a... Were you making a reference to a thing that already happened?
In Zombieland 1, Woody Harrelson has the quest to find the Twinkie that is like real important to him. I thought there was a Zombieland 2 coming out, but I haven't heard about it since I heard it was coming out. So either it came out and it was really bad, or it still hasn't come out yet because, well, last year was a giant void in everyone's lives.
We don't talk about last year. We're not sure it even happened.
Last year was 2019, right? I'm pretty sure. Actually, last year was 2015, 2020. Last year was 2008.
I was born last year. You know, it's kind of like the 13th floor, and it's the same kind of slippery... It's the same kind of slippery slope, right? It's like 13 is an unlucky number, but in some cultures also, all of them are unlucky. So you go from floor 0 to 99. That's a pretty safe floor. Skip all the middle parts.
I've got 2 floors, ground and penthouse. Those are the 2 floors. I will only refer to them in these kinds of terms. I'm never ever gonna say perfect vision, that number ever again. Instead, I will say yesteryear, and next year I will say yes to yesteryear. I'm just gonna continue adding it until it's like grandparent.
A fortnight of years has passed since the year that is unspoken. Yeah, goo goo gaga indeed. God, that's funny.
It's going to be a very you-know-who kind of situation. We've got danger boosts. What is danger boosts?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
We must find out.
Yeah, I want to be a danger master. That sounds
Hell
awesome.
Yes.
This is kind of reminding me of like a monster hunter stat. It like has enough words that it doesn't seem like it should be opaque, but it is still opaque somehow. Is it in here?
I believe it is, exactly. It's directly below us. Gain 2 to 3 to 4 danger, which increases all dice roll by 2 whilst under 50% HP.
Oh my gosh, it is Monster Hunter. It's heroics. Low health makes you stronger. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I do like a good Berserker playstyle of like, I'm on 2 HP, but I will ruin your day. Don't you dare think I'm close to dead.
You get 1 hit. It's like the champ, right? It's just, but you get to execute forever.
There's only going to be one hit in this fight, and that's me hitting you whilst you hit the ground. Okay?
That's right.
Specials give lucky turns. The enemy will start with static. Get him.
I only need one thing. That's like the classic, sensei is like, you can fight me, I'll give you 10 free shots, and then I'll retaliate with my pinky.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree? And you're like, yeah, I'll whip you. But you don't know what that pinky can do.
Exactly. You don't know. You're charging up that pinky with every single blow that you've input.
Every time I get hit, my pinky grows larger. Comically large, actually. It's like a balloon pinky by the end. It's like a swamp on my hand.
Just by the end, we're at like a zoomed out comic panel. We see you as a tiny little stick figurine with one giant pinky just goes thump.
Oh, man. It's like those funny hands, that people take to baseball games or whatever. The giant hand. You might not know this. Does Australia
Foam
have
fingers.
this?
We don't use them. No, not really.
We just talk about how Americans use them, but we don't actually do that. That would be unfashionable.
I think it's more that I think it's more that a lot of the time when Australians go to sport, we're doing something called double fisting, which is
right. You can't
you've
have
got
something in your hand because
a beer in both hands because this one's gonna go down. Like, I'm not lining back up again. You're kidding, mate. If you think I'm gonna line back up again, eh?
Mate.
Nah, mate. I'm going down. I'm getting two E's, not Foster, 2 E's. I'm gonna drain them both at an equal rate as well, because you don't want one of them to be warm from your hand sweat and the other one's gonna be cold,
Oh my God.
So you double up, mate. You got to double
I'm
up.
getting worried, Rhaps, that we're producing personas and catchphrases on accident, and that season 4 of Rhaps and Teak Take a Peek is just gonna be us referencing us.
Yep.
For 3 hours every episode.
That is how
And it's gonna
every
be like, "Ha-ha,
long-lived series
funny
eventually
people."
becomes.
Oh, look at them go! They're making jokes about their jokes again.
Mhm.
They're really doing it. I remember that joke. That joke was funny the first time. What time is it now? This is the 100th time, but it's a joke about the joke, so it doesn't get old.
Exactly. Right? As
You
long
just
as you
keep
couch
doing
it correctly contextually to be meta.
That's right. Well, and you just need to accept the Death Valley to where they, for a little bit, middle seasons are never good. So we just have to get through those until we build up enough context and enough Stockholm Syndrome to where the stuff is funny again.
I feel extremely seen. I have done this many times over the course of many different series. I've had
Just
to
make the
retire
series
things
so
for that
long that it
reason.
gets
Like
funny again.
the Singing Bowl, it was retired for like not too far
Right.
a different reason than that.
Yeah, man. You just keep pushing. But I really do think that some media is like that. It's almost like it starts off in its novel, and then where you're going to get is the investment phase. So where you're so invested in the media that it's good, that you really like it. But that middle territory, spooky time. That's just pure, you're just paying the price.
I think we may have just defeated an elite as well, or a boss of some kind. We're being offered 3 ghost jars.
Yeah, it did seem leveled up. It was a hornet like before, but this time it had a pumpkin on its head, which indicates that it's very powerful.
It was called Jack Hornet, had had one of its moves named after itself as well, so it's feeling very in that realm.
Always angry. Angry.
What
We
is
need this.
angry?
I don't know.
What is angry,
But we-
Precious? There it is.
I'm not gonna do it. Okay. You can only attack. Yeah, let's go, baby. Now
Oh
we're
my
finally
god!
in.
Gain angry and refill battery every turn. Literally, this is you can only attack. Exactly what we've been attempting to do this whole time.
It's literally what we're doing.
It's perfect. It's incredible. I want to know because, okay, yeah, so, because if you're in a space, it doesn't let you go necessarily to all adjacencies.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Oh,
I guess
can we
this is
not
just
go
like a
to-
blocked tile.
We can't go through the woods. They're blocked tile. Yeah, exactly. What's angry, Precious?
It's so good. We roll that bonus die. What do you got? I'm status immune, and they start the
I
battle
hate
static.
how easy it is to bait me to do certain voices. It's like,
I love it. I absolutely love it. 'Cause I feel like I've got a Stream Deck here, right? I feel like I hit buttons on the Stream Deck to try and alternate different things with the stream itself, and then I've got like vocal Stream Deck buttons that I use to try and trigger things from you.
That's right. You're not the only person who's figured this out, because it's very easy to snipe me with lyrics to a song, and a lot of my regulars for stream have figured out they can be like, haha, random Oasis lyric, so funny. It's there's just not even any context. It's just, I'm gonna type the lyrics to the song to see if it forces Teak to at least hum it, you know? Or will we get a full song out of him? Hard to say.
I got that way many a time too. They tried to poison us, but we're immune. Nice try, bud.
We can only attack.
Gain dodge
and roll both.
Yeah, no, don't need to roll that. We can only attack.
I'm not even sure we're allowed to do that.
Oh,
we can probably still use our special. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
We should try.
I didn't think about it. We'll try as soon as we can because the enemy is too dead.
Yeah.
I love the head tilt every time.
-1 ghost jar cost at shop. Oh wow, but we good.
But you can sub that in just before you go into a shop anyway.
Oh, we can just have. Okay, well then you should always take this.
Yeah, right. At least over one, because like, yeah, sure. I'm not even gonna put it in at the moment. But then if I go, oh, the whole area being cleared also gave us 3 ghost jars. Interesting.
Nice,
but if I go out
rich.
here and then go back to this element, I would have the ability to sub this back in. Yes, so I can just do that before we run into a shop.
Wow. So we get to carry all of these modules and then we don't. Okay.
It may do something like, you know, remove excess modules between floors or something. Oh, chest was a mimic and it was full of poison.
What? Ew, this is a horrible chest. Well, you know, maybe it won't be so bad. We like to fight. It's a cute mimic. Hey, how's the music in this game?
I'm gonna be honest, it's not incredible. It evokes like a fast segment in Hat in Time, or like a Banjo Tooie track.
Okay, but what you're saying is it's a little too driving for a turn-based strategy game. It's got that intensity and dynamism of a platformer.
Yes.
Got it.
It's got the thematic fit, obviously, right? Like, we're talking about other games that are also quite cute.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say a similar art style, but not as different as it could be. You know, as in, like, you know, the difference between Dirty Bomb and Dicey Dungeons, like, night and day. Like, instead, we're talking the difference between, like, dawn and 7 a.m.
Right. Okay, I see. They're both times of the morning.
Precisamundo. Good lord, we do damage points. You are not allowed to play.
We really do smash the enemy in its face.
Mm-hmm. Give him that solitaire. Oh,
And
lucky
look.
you become charged.
What is that?
Oh, when you roll lucky, you become charged. We're fine. We're already supercharged constantly.
We do whatever we want always.
We don't take these.
We're not worried. We don't take these. Would it have let us go back to the merchant?
Excellent question. So when we were on the excess space, and I noted that you could not move upwards, which you remembered was identified was the forest, it did say that we could go downwards, and the downwards was a special space at that time. So I imagine it would have let us re-enter that blacksmith, although we hadn't entered that one previously because we turned it down. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how that would have affected.
We'll check that in the next level. See if we can go back to blacksmiths, because that could be good tech, especially if they keep their rolls, because we had one blacksmith that was very cheap. So that could be kind of, I've been playing on whatever Wednesday, I've been playing Torchlight 2, which is an ARPG, you know, Diablo style ARPG. I didn't play this last week, but I like them. And there's all sorts of little tech in games like this. Like if you find a random merchant, you're supposed to not interact with them because they're very, very powerful. And they will leave after your first interaction. And so you just forget about them until the end game where you go back and you get a strong enchantment, which is kind of fascinating.
Those kind of counterintuitive things I always find particularly interesting because, like, as a new player, obviously you're going to go to the merchant you're going to, you know.
I did. I totally went in and people were like, oh, you shouldn't take that. And I'm like, what? My value. They're like, no, but it's more value later. But I like that because both players get rewarded. The new player gets something cool, and the old player has this tech that they're aware. You know, it's kind of like both players win.
Yeah, exactly. And you also have that moment of discovery when you go back to it at a higher level later on, and you're like,
yeah,
oh my god, everything is so good here. Sure, it was a little risk reward. Like, I didn't go in with the benefits I could have otherwise gotten from this. But
you would never design that on purpose. And that's what's fascinating to me about the joys that we experience, right? Is that no one would be like, I'm going to purposefully make this opaque interaction. You just add the merchant, right? So I don't know. Big Bear.
Now, this did mention when we were entering this floor that we were entering the boss floor. So I've also used our potion to overheal there. Let's roll this.
Nice. Enemy starts poisoned. Lucky turns make you charge. Lucky. So our lucky number should just be whatever's on our attack dice the most, right?
Yep.
Because that's all we're allowed to do. It's still ones, though, I think. I agree with the ones choice.
Yeah, I quite like it.
Recovery.
We're always angry.
Okay, but you're pretty cute, though. Do you think that this bear also is just a big doggo?
So have you seen the Good Dogs chat in my Discord? This is not a trick question. It's just whether or not you have seen it.
I have not looked at it, no.
So the foundational aspect of that room is that all animals will be considered dogs for the sake of simplicity. So people will post their cat and be like, this is a purring dog. What a lovely purring dog kind of thing, right? So yes, ultimately this is a large Ursine dog.
Okay. Yes, Ursine. That's so funny because when you said that, I thought it was a trick question because there's a Twitter account that does this. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called like Rate My Dog or something like that.
They're good dogs, Brent.
And so you send in pictures of dogs and they rate the dog. But people started sending in random pictures of other things. And sometimes they'll be like, yes, this is a very good dog. And it's like a cloud. And other times it'll be a dog, but in a giraffe suit. And they're like, this is not a dog.
Yep.
Please only send dogs.
I think one of my favorite ones was...
This enemy is dead, by the way. Was this a boss?
I
clicked attack 2 times.
It may well have been. It may well have been previously. Power boost. Any action. Gain a dice equal to the equipped power dice boosts.
What's that?
Gain a dice equal. So when we perform any action, it triggers the effect. Gain a dice equal to equipped power dice boosts. So
what are power dice?
Power dice. I do not know. Clicky.
I don't know what this means, so I guess we need it. Can we go into this and see if power dice?
Increases a dice's value. So this has the same symbol by 1, 2, 3. Increases the stat when used in a stat slot. Gain a dice equal to the power dice boosts. So what is a power dice? Do we have a power dice somewhere that I need to look at, possibly? Are these considered power dice?
It doesn't mean stat die.
No, these are the stat die.
Is an upgraded die a power die?
Are these the power die? What are they considered? If these are
action dice.
Action dice? Action dice?
Yeah.
I think we sub it in and see what it affects.
Yeah. Maybe do that one. Yeah, because now we're all red. Which is correct.
As angry as can be.
This room is replete. It's a mimic.
Oh, 5 ghost jars though. That's quite good. That is the largest single gain of ghost jars we've had.
We're gonna kill it in 1 turn anyway. It doesn't really matter that it's a mimic.
Oh,
that just means we get more ghost jars.
It's gonna be deceased as hell.
It's so deaded. I've quite liked this dodge die. If we're lucky, we'll get like a yellow dodge die. As in the actual symbol. So we're getting more dodge out of it. Right? Because we can't upgrade this one anymore, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I think this is at its maximum point. Unless we find something that says, modify a die rather than upgrade it.
Right.
Because at the very least, the same store would not upgrade it again. Also, I can confirm you cannot use Doodle Dash. You can't use your special here at all.
We can only attack.
We're too angry. Nice.
That's amazing, man. This is our life. Honestly, that's fine. Doodle dice don't do damage. Sounds whack.
No one does damage to us but us.
Only we do damage.
Huh.
Any action, gain a 1 to 3 attack dice. Take that.
We need some way to get more modules.
I didn't see the extra die thing happen.
Oh,
The
enemies
power
aren't
dice
attacking
boost.
us. We don't need to counterattack. What are they?
That's true.
They never get us.
That's true. Enemies don't get to us. That's a good point.
The bonus die?
Mimic! It's all mimics.
Mimic has no status effect.
You know, the thing about the mimic is that it surprises you, right? What makes a mimic effective is that 90% of chests are regular chests, and then one of them attacks you. It's all about hiding in plain sight, and that's about surprising you. But if every chest is a mimic,
I think we're just
I'm just not
getting
gonna open chests.
lucky rolls on them.
maybe.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true, 'cause it's
interesting.
only just a dice roll.
We rolled status immune, right? So we were immune to all status effects except for pranks. We are not getting angry, but we are getting
not
charge
angry.
every turn. So we're getting the upside of the gain angry and refill battery every turn. It's
Without
refilling
the
0.
downside. Although angry makes us do more damage too, so
It
it's got
does.
an upside.
That is very, very true.
But we can doodle dash if we wanted to see what it looked like.
We could well have. I hope they do not die to this action then. Please.
They won't die. They're gonna live.
Nice.
By
And we
the
don't
skin
even
of their
counterattack.
That's right. No counterattack. That's funny.
Gain a die equal to the equipped power die boosts.
I don't. But what's a
What is a power die?
what's a paradise?
That's okay.
I don't know what it means. It's
It'll,
okay. I
it'll
like
turn
that
up.
attitude. Exactly. We're not running out of time here. This mimic is stalling hard.
Mm-hmm.
We should kill it.
Goodbye, Mimic.
It's dead.
Oh! Our angry damage contributes a lot.
I miss being angry. We shouldn't roll anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to
just
be
wanna
magic
be-
immune.
I really think that's a negative for us. I really think attacking is important.
Nice.
Well, we got him. And we charged up on the way out too. I'm trying to remember
Dolphins.
words. What are the words I'm trying to think of?
Shields no longer weaken each turn. Oh, so here's your kind of like a barricade-ish solution.
Nice.
That's
We'll
for
just take-
defending, though. I don't know what to...
I'll take money.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Capturing ghosts earns you stat points. Stat points either increase your max HP by 1 or your battery, and battery by 2, or can be assigned to increase your attack, shield, or charge stats.
Oh, so fighting all the fights gives us more points to do. So we have a ton of points. Put them all into attack.
I don't even think that's wrong.
This is how we live. Look at him. He's ready.
So
Subversion
I wonder...
was the word I was looking for, by the way.
Ah.
Subversion of expectations. It's something that I always want to say and can never remember the words for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the kind of word that I would reach for an adjacent word and be like the submission of expectations.
That's right. It's the obsequiousness of expectations.
Is this going to continue to another floor or ooh?
Yes. We're in bougie city now.
Interesting. So I will say the anger as well as I think also the attack stat modify the damage that is done by the any action, gain a 1 to 3 attack die.
Oh, you're right. So we're doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, it's just this one that I don't understand
What
because
does it do?
this would be rolling another die, right?
Yeah.
Equal
yeah.
to the equipped power die boosts.
But we don't know what that means. What's a power dice boost? What's a power dice?
We may
Doubts?
find out, but the only way to find out is to use it, I think. Or just, passively stumble across the solution of what it is.
Or do we have an expectation that this is maybe like a 3-act game? We don't know, do we?
No clue, but that would seem to fit.
This build is on. If so, we have a good chance to actually finish a run.
Yeah, no kidding. It's also an aggressive one, so we don't have to stand there for 30 minutes each fight, defending and then doubling poison on someone.
Exactly. It's just. Wow, that sounds like something you've experienced recently.
I don't know what you're talking about, Teak.
I don't. That doesn't sound like something we would do. I don't know who that is.
Okay,
Prank caller.
so
Prank call, prank
aggressive assault and power boost both apparently triggered here. But that's the aggressive assault die. That is our base stat die, and that's our action die. So how did power boost trigger?
And where is the die? We must have. It must have triggered, but our power dice boost is 0. So, but then we would get a 0 die. That's a thing in this game.
Yeah, it is
So
indeed.
Maybe it flashed to say we're thinking about coming in. Taunt Screech. Goodness.
So always
like
angry
that.
triggers at the start of the fight. We roll this. It's also said Playmore is triggering, which is triggering.
We're missing something.
Yes.
I have a sneaking suspicion that this is one of those situations to where we're trying to solve something prematurely. Like power dice are a thing, and we just haven't found them yet, right? We haven't found a power die.
Yep.
And so it's like we're going to just keep smashing our head against it, but we just don't have the pieces.
I think you're right on that one, yeah. We've got a
We'll
lot of
find it.
ghost jars. That's a shop. Do we want to quickly?
Well, I
first
think we
off-
should go get some more dice. I think we should try to get a chest so that we have good stuff to upgrade in case we can't revisit the shop.
It's a good point, well made.
We're clearly not dying. What are you?
Looks like a coat rack.
Mm.
Your specials give you lucky turns. Yes, the thing we are incapable of using.
Yes.
Ah.
Oh no, it's the dungeon master.
It's a classic
master.
hand. All right, let's give the thing some bops here.
I guess we better attack it.
It
It
only
can be
seems
hard
right.
to figure out what to do on these turns.
That's why I like
recommend
that the game
hit.
has simplified the layer of that. Turn
Ooh, there's
drain.
drain. There's drain. That must be draining battery. That's the thing. So we learned something. Well, we took actually quite a lot of damage. We
Yeah.
failed to dodge there. Oh my gosh, we're gonna die.
They stun slapped us 2 times in a row.
I
How?
would like a turn.
GD damn you. There we go.
Well, we got him.
We might need some passive healing to deal with these.
We're gonna need something that says heal when you hit your enemy.
When attacked, poison burn or static enemy.
It's too bad. We just saw one that said heal when you hit a burned enemy, but we don't have an automatic guaranteed burn source.
Should we pop this potion? Because I haven't seen like
Yeah.
we've had multiple circumstances in the past where we've gained a potion, but it didn't seem to give us an extra potion because I used it and it disappeared. So it didn't seem like it was stacking up
Right.
extras. So it seems like you are meant
It's
to
just
use
increasing
this.
the heal amount. Yeah.
But it was 10 before. It was
Oh, it
7 when
started
we were
at
playing
7.
Fuzz.
It started at 7 in the beginning of this run, and then it went up to 10.
In this one
after
as well?
Something happened. I think.
Okay.
I think. So. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe it was only 7. You may be right. Maybe this one started on 10. Yeah, because
could
we have
also
more
be
health
wrong.
too, right?
5 ghost jars in the
Well,
chest. We got an uncommon
You
die.
may be right. I may be crazy, but I just might be.
The lunatic that I'm looking for.
I was gonna say dog. What's that one? Is that Angie? Is this Angie guy?
That is Angie. It is it's a mid-tier Angie. Although maybe we can upgrade it and get to max tier Angie. Who knows? What
What
the
if
only
we put
thing
that into the
is
shields?
because we never roll shield is the thing. We're too
but
angry
we
to ever
can
roll shields.
if we don't get angry.
But then we won't be angry.
If we get status block, then we'll roll shields, and then we'll be allowed to get Angie.
Let's
How long
put it
does
in there
status-
regardless.
It's definitely. It's a thought.
I mean, it's better than not
Shields-
having it in there to start with at the absolute least.
We're never gonna roll this.
Almost certainly, but
Almost certainly not. But if we do, it's a mimic.
It has no status effects, though. Do we have no status
I want
effects?
to play a
for this?
game where you go into a dungeon and every chest is a mimic, but there's one chest. There's like this one corner in a forgotten, coat cabinet or whatever. That's not even that's why it was forgotten, because you don't put coats in a cabinet. It was stupid, and so no one used it. And in the back, there's what looks clearly like another mimic, and it contains a legendary item. This is so like 2000 era JRPG. Just you got to go into the last place that you would go and do the last thing that you would expect to do, and also not do something that you should do. And then you can have the legendary gun sword.
I could easily see like a DM out there who has just heard that idea and is about to ruin players' lives.
Is already writing it down. Dungeon full of mimics. One good loot. Yes. In the coat cabinet. They'll never suspect.
No attacks allowed. No attacks allowed.
Roll for perception.
Okay, only 1 damage. That's fine.
What do I perceive?
You see a cabinet. In the cabinet, you see a very familiar sight. A chest.
Full of coats.
Grinning. Bearing teeth. However, you notice, very subtly, this chest doesn't move as much as the others.
As much.
Oh,
That's
I mean,
wiggling.
this is a world where mimics are the default, right? So if you want to be the mimic of mimics, you gotta join them a little. You gotta meet them where they're at.
It's a mimic. It's a mimic. I've thought about doing a bit where I made 1, 2, or 3 action dice. We don't do that.
2 enemies in the same space.
Oh.
We roll those on stat die. We don't roll them on.
We should maybe go to the shop now, huh?
Yeah, let's go for it.
I don't know what even we're gonna do though. We don't have that many die to, well, we'll go, because we can't double upgrade our stuff unless we're allowed to now. Potion is free. We get to buy a potion.
Hell yes. There's modules in here as well.
Oh wow. Does one of those modules heal us?
Okay, yeah. So a potion does 33% HP. So it was.
Okay.
So that would make sense for 7 in Fuzz and 10 here.
We're super loaded.
Oh yeah, we're all jacked up on value. This is also interesting because this is a shop rather than a blacksmith, so it doesn't modify our die, but it does give us new die.
And we should buy that one right there.
This one?
The one with the bigger dodge number.
Oh, this one. Yeah. That's gonna be a great upgrade.
We'll want to get it upgraded, but we want it. Because dodge seems to be pretty critical to our build, right? Like, if we're not dodging some, we are actually just dying. Unless we can get more block online somehow.
I hate it. Oh, right. So the parenthetical is showing what it will get on the upgrade.
Right.
But it's still better by base. And then its upgrade is going to be even betterer by baser.
So, since we're refilling our battery every turn from our module, do we ever put the dodge into the stat block too? And just not get charged there? Don't we get refilled battery every turn?
We do. Yeah. Let's give that a go.
Only dodge.
I mean, look, if you can dodge every attack from an enemy, how are they ever going to hit you? Right?
Right.
How they win.
What are these modules?
We'll have a look at the module in just a second. Okay, so I don't want to leave here, but I don't know what the gun is. It seems like it would be something like straight damage, though.
Gun magic. It tends to be quite good.
Your potion is used in battle at 10 HP. Can you usually use a potion in battle?
I don't think you can. I think that's what it's saying. Or maybe you can you use a potion in battle, and it's saying when you start getting hit, it'll save you from dying?
Yeah, I don't know. I know you can use it in the meta level. I've not seen it in battle. So yeah, maybe it's particularly important. Although it's also one of 3 module slots, right? So it feels like you're going to be consistently changing your loadout of your module slots if you know the challenge you're about to come up against.
To respond to things, yeah. What's the heart one do?
This is Danger Boost +1. We've already a copy of this.
Danger Boost. We could get even more. So do you want to take this gun die just to be able to have it?
Yeah, I want to see what gun die do. Show me what that gun do.
Gun die.
Performs an extra attack for 2 to 3 to 4 damage.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So, do you want to like go all aggression? It lowers the charge stat die because it's not upgraded, but it could perform an extra attack.
Oh, because we get the charge stat die for free when we have multiple flim flams, right?
Mm-hmm. When
And
we
then
flim the
enemies
flam
just
just
die.
right.
So maybe you put that one like there. Yeah. Yeah, we're the best. We have 2 dodge dice now, so like, surely we can't be injured. We need to find a blacksmith, though.
That's our defense. Ooh, give me blacksmith. Give me blacksmith.
Event.
Blacksmith? Blacksmith?
Event.
Blacksmith?
Blacksmith. Event. This is an empty building. This is like, this place is super haunted. Wait, this game literally is about poltergeists. Okay, no, this place is haunted.
Upgrading your first size gives you a potion, so that tells us it's definitely a blacksmith, and their price is cheaper.
Baby. We're getting upgraded. We're upgrading all of it. Will it let us double upgrade?
No.
Can't do more with that one.
That makes
Can't
sense.
do that. Can't upgrade that one. Upgrades are so cheap. Like,
yeah.
Even if we didn't have -1 cost, they'd be 4. That's very achievable.
It feels like I could just hard upgrade across the board, but we also don't defend.
Literally everything. Yeah. Upgrade them anyway because you want everything to have a gold border.
I do like the gold border. Good strats.
We look great. We've been rolling pretty hard.
I'll leave this one to you. The missing words are a pile of fabric as you.
A pile of fabric, perhaps in a cabinet? Down the hall in front of you lies a pile of fabric. As you approach the pile, it looks more and more like a coat. Turn around. Run away. Suddenly, it launches up and faces you. What are you buying, friend? You want dice? I got some dice. You want a potion? I got those too. I don't want whatever you're selling. Ghost.
Pick up the pace
clothing.
and walk past it.
It could have given us a dice. You hurry along and try not to look at the coat mimic. The coat that seems determined to make you a good deal. I think it might have actually just been a good deal.
The eerily empty coat that seems determined to give you a good deal. Okay, here's how we... Yeah, we can come back into this, but it does hold the same modifiers that we had previously. Interesting.
Okay, that's nice.
Interesting.
Maybe we should have bought a die from that coat cabinet coat.
Maybe we should have. But
we
also,
didn't.
sometimes it is worth exploring whether or not the negative answer is itself a different option.
Yeah, yeah. You got to try everything, you know? And
Sometimes
discretion is sometimes the better part of valor. And this is a spider.
Battery starts quite low, but it's okay as long as we keep dodging.
It's literally just a spider. No, we don't want to.
Our mode changed
We
to
don't
2,
roll.
but it's based off of the shield having that.
Yeah.
So instead, we want
should be
4.
Yep. Tricky Rick.
Mm.
Always
Big
angry.
upgrades.
We might actually have to upgrade our charge a bit to increase our max charge amount. Lucky Burn.
Get him. I don't
my
know if
gosh.
this spider gets a turn. Yeah, we
I'm
just filled to
beginning-
18 off of the back of that turn.
I'm beginning to suspect that they do not get to move. Do we really have a module that just says refill your battery every turn?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Why
Yeah,
is that
I
so
think-
much stronger than every one of our other modules?
So I think it's because you're not... damage increased by 3 when below 25% HP. Interesting. I think it's because you're not necessarily supposed to want to attack all of the time. Like, angry isn't supposed to always be a buff. It's just because we have the ability to defend and gain charge, although the gain charge was kind of eliminated by it as well. We have the ability to defend whilst doing it.
Yes.
That is puts us in a special position.
We have the build. That may be what it is that this is just like a pretty strong build and we just happened to stumble into it.
Mm-hmm.
And by happen to stumble into it, what I mean is we're incredibly, incredibly competent and clever gamers.
Yep.
And we knew exactly what we were doing when we smashed hit face button.
Mm-hmm. We just knew. We just knew. I wish I could set this to
I
default
know,
to a
we
different
could
one
lock
because
it in, right? Yeah.
I'm not
yeah.
using those.
We don't use it. We could just take the dice out for the sake of what did you
Oh, okay. So another giant negative that's actually occurring is because refilling the battery is a oh no wait, refilling the battery doesn't give you special charge. Special charge is gotten by using the battery. Never mind.
Yep.
But part of the value of having a lot of battery has been also taken away by only being able to attack.
That's true. That's true. We can't do the other things, including our special. Not being able to special is like kind of theoretically a bummer.
That's interesting.
This enemy hits us pretty hard.
They do when they manage to. But we got stunned when hitting them somehow.
Floor Master too challenging. Yep. We got
it happened again.
Turn.
Thankfully we're lucky, so those balanced out, but did the enemy have something?
I think that it might just be a special of that enemy because I didn't see a status on them. Any action gain a 1 to 3 charge dice, but they don't do damage.
Exactly. Oh, area's fully cleared apparently, despite this enemy.
We're fighting this corner.
There
could be a... Oh my.
Chow down on that HP before we go in.
I suspect this could be pretty scary.
They have 20% more HP. We've got one more stat.
We have stats. Yeah, our stats are high. Ghost hands.
Straight out of the Zelda boss naming book. It's a ghost. It has hands. Ghost hands. Got him. How do you come up with these?
The enemy that you're looking upon has legs and fire on
Fire
it.
leg.
I'm telling you, you got a job.
Thank you. I'm looking for job security.
I have been looking to feel more secure in my work.
Ooh.
These drains are annoying. I giggled to myself.
Oh no, you've taken all of our battery. Oh, it's such a shame. I'm not going to be able to do anything.
The Floor Master was so much harder than any other enemy for us. It must be an enemy that's punishing like our attacks.
There's something that's stunning us. Like anytime we roll lucky, we're getting stunned right now, which I don't
Maybe that's
super
the enemy's
understand.
Effect, is they block lucky.
Maybe it is, but it seems like that would be noted somewhere.
I know, and no secrets. Well, they are ghosts, so I mean, presumably they hold some secrets.
All right, keep your secrets.
They're yours.
You ghost.
Put them in this bottle.
Perfect. Extra actions happen twice.
I want that, kind of. Maybe we should replace our power dice boost since it doesn't actually do anything.
Yeah. I don't know what it's doing, but extra actions. Extra actions, and it's showing the symbols for the status effects? No.
It's showing the symbols for... Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Sorry. The status effects that trigger extra actions are being shown there.
I wonder, equipped power dice boosts. I wonder if that's like a type of module.
It may well be.
Power dice boosts. Power dice boosts. I feel like I'm doing a crossword. Maybe I should understand power dice boosts as an adverb instead of the way that I'm currently reading it.
If you happen to come up with the correct... Oh, I'm status immune, so we're not angry anymore. No!
That's pretty bad, actually. We might have to play. We might have to like shield and charge and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It seems likely. Ugh.
It's still probably 4s, but yeah, we might have to shield. Good thing we have good shield stuff.
The shield will make us angry.
Well, we should try to... We're not allowed to be angry this turn, right?
Let's dodge him.
Yeah.
You better have some real good abilities here, friend.
Burning tea. That burned them.
That's not gonna... That's not gonna stop us.
Maybe we had the strategy right all along. Extra. Read all about it. We got a lucky extra turn, so we can just keep going. Just keep going. Go ham, buddy. Don't stop. Just
keep not
rolling.
stopping.
Extra turn, extra. You can't keep having turns. That's not fair to the enemy. You have to stop.
Okay, I'll stop having turns, Teak. I promise not to hit this enemy ever again.
I have concluded hitting this enemy. Plus 10 max HP and batteries, just straight stats. That's kind of cool.
It is, especially because we're filling out the battery. But what are we using the battery for, right?
Mimic.
No!
I knew it.
Hey, the
Always
mimics come with the
last
fight, and the fight come with modules, so it's not
true.
a total loss.
It's not. You're gonna be such a good clicking 4 speedrunner by the end of this.
I'm just working on my muscles for clickers.
Clicking 4. Number go up.
Uh-oh. I can't believe it. We actually let them attack.
That's devastating, actually. Mimicky Healy. They're even mimicking a real enemy, but they're not. They're just healing themselves. They're just stalling.
They're
because they have a big shield, too.
Prolonging the inevitable.
Uh-oh, they used a skill. Mimicky Taunty. My battery.
Get him.
Get him.
Just
wait.
Get him.
Did you just taunt me into attacking? Did you just give me angry? Brave.
Do you know how angry I am? That's my secret cap, etc. 1 use. Upgraded dice, but lose 5 ghost jars. This is portable ammo. Thank you. We're not going to use it yet, but...
You just have it. And we'll use it like in the end game, you know, right before the final boss or something.
Seems the right place for it. Oh! Common upgraded die already. What do you got?
And I wonder, are the dice getting better?
As we get later?
It looks like yes.
It looks like it, because
one yellow gun?
No, we purchased this. We didn't get it uncommon.
Oh, it's not all yellows. Like some of the sides have yellow gun?
So that attacks for an extra damage. So we swap that there. 2 of its faces will have 1 yellow, 1 white. That's a limitation factor there, right? I mean, we have the die-in that triggers extra attacks on extra attacks. Maybe we put this in here.
Less dodge, more fighting. Let's fighting.
If we kill the enemy on turn 1...
Wait, what happened to that die that we just had there?
The die that we just had... yes, I believe they were all being saved in our backpack. There we are.
Oh, good, because that one should go... It doesn't matter. I was like, that one should go in the shield, but we're never going to roll shield.
Might as well put it there.
Up.
Up. Which of these stats should I keep clicking on? It's just a bit difficult. Sorry, we skipped the screen accidentally.
Something happened. Our stats got locked in. I was looking at the stat screen and there was just this constant screaming.
It's the you're just hearing into the future. The screams of our enemies. I'm status immune and my battery starts at 1. God damn it.
This may be the only bad outcome. We may have to block.
Or maybe it's got low HP and we just moiter.
We don't need to block. Extra.
Never stop attacking.
Don't stop.
No. Wait, we dodged 2.
The enemy has attempted to hit us. And now
a
my
cute
turn.
attempt.
12. Numbers are too big. This is not fair to the enemy. Can we not stack up more dodge? Are we limited in how much dodging we can do? Is that the deal?
No, I've seen it stack up to 3, which breaks the limitation I've seen on most others.
Because it doesn't. Yeah.
Extra attacks.
We were still taking damage in the back, but you know, we were only taking damage when the enemy was stunning us. It was not the. We're too strong, man.
Yeah, it was when the enemy had some way to override and take a turn. which
Right.
not all of them seem to have. Enemy attacks activate their burn damage.
Don't know what that means. We've never read a book.
Ooh, well, this is the only way we can even leave right now, but we know we can revisit these.
Yep. Which is great. I love that we only use our health. We've never once spent money to roll these dice.
No. It's a
we know
counter.
that
We've
one.
got that. Clear all status effects when you gain danger.
What does the health dice do?
These ones are danger.
Okay. But we could get into danger, in theory.
And then the lightning is static. Right? Let's have a look at the danger. Where is it written? Out here. There, danger. Gains 2 to 3 to 4 danger, which increases all dice rolls by 2 whilst under 50% HP. We don't spend long under that.
When we are there, though, we better win.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is
But I
straight
think
up
we
the
do.
exit as well.
We
No,
shouldn't
thank you.
leave yet. We're not ready.
We'll loop back around to you.
Yeah, we'll come back. There's a chest over there to the north, too, which we'll get to when we're looping.
Ooh. How did you see the chest? Oh, was it the north of the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I missed that.
Enemy starts burned.
That may be
I
one of the
love-
best modifiers for us because of how many times we attack.
Yes. 4-click and speedrunner. So now we're like in the abandoned tower with the ho-oh in it or whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's not... is that at the top of Teak, or is that...
I don't remember, and I should remember if it's in the town that has my name in it, but I don't. What I do
It's been a long
remember
time
is
since I played Heart Golds, and before
in
that,
my-
an even longer time since I played Crystal.
the cartridge. When I played Pokemon Gold the first time, and that
Mhm.
cartridge, something happened. You know, I never lost games or anything, but that one walked away from me, which
Yep.
was very weird. And I looking back, I suspect that it might have gained legs that looked a lot like one of my classmates.
Yep.
But so I made a mistake then. I don't know if you remember this in the early generations, but I climbed up to the top. It took me forever. I did the fight with the ho-oh, and after much fighting and trying, I finally caught it.
Mhm.
And it said, "Your box is full." And it just releases it. In that generation, if your currently selected PC box was full, it's just like, better luck next time. Hope you didn't want that legendary, because you can't have it.
You didn't need this, right?
You didn't want this.
Thankfully,
sent
it
it
was, like, at the
back
time,
out.
very much a save state game. So did you have the ability to just reload before it, or did you save before recognizing that? Or did it auto-save?
I saved
don't know if it auto-saved
constantly,
at that point.
but I think it was one of those situations to where it was like, it took me so long to get up here. I think I was overwhelmed by the concept of leaving and then having to get back to the top, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think I just cut my losses.
Yep. And it's also, like, it's weird the amount of emphasis that people put on legendaries, despite the fact that
Yep.
most people didn't really
You then
play
don't
too
use
many
them.
of them, because I didn't level
Yeah.
you up to 50.
Yep.
I have no emotional investment in you. You are
You're not
a
really
box to
mine.
tick.
It's like somebody just handed me, you know, like the end game Ratchet and Clank weapon, but it's like,
Mhm.
I'm all about this little shotgun, baby. I learned how to play with this.
Exactly. I don't
Yeah, no.
need the gold bomb glove just yet.
When I was a kid, I played with all the legendaries for what it's worth. But then as an adult, yeah, you just catch it and you put it in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you want to read this one?
Sure. You come across an area barely illuminated by green candles, and it draws you in to investigate. The candles are placed in a hexagonal pattern surrounding a white salt circle drawn on a wooden panel. You hear a voice in your head.
What do you want? I want you to see a memory. You'll be reimbursed for your time, Batman.
Thinking
Think of
of
Feral Anger.
feral
all we do.
anger? Let's do it. You think back to the forest where you battled the ghost bear.
Very good.
Whispers the ghost. I have no clue how I just knew the line for Bane was coming up on the previous screen. Whispers the ghost as 3 ghost jars appear in front of you. The ghost bear rises up from the floor and it doesn't look too pleased.
Well, we'll fight a ghost bear. But if this is like the boss the last time, well, the dead die twice.
It doesn't look too pleased, and I don't think it is going to be too pleased either. Oh, we roll the floor. Okay. And then we just have the extra attack from the extra lucky, and then another extra attack from it because of the modded. These are working together quite well.
Can we offer the enemy a surrender option? It seems that we have one in our bar, but perhaps that's been misplaced.
I want them to have a mercy option, just to, at the start of the fight, say, I'll join your side.
I'll just
give me the
my
jar.
bottle.
You
I'll
put the
jump
jar in
in.
front of me, I'm jumping in. Let's go.
Whoa. Angelic Fuzz says gain full HP and battery when you hit 0 HP. That's kind of wild.
Do we
just
want a
want
safety? Money.
I mean, Last Stand is like the strongest effect in Urtuk, but we're not playing Urtuk.
They've got extra shields on it. Let's see if it helps them enough to prevent them from falling under the overwhelming weight of our blades.
Wait.
Turn, mirror status.
You
Mirror
have to
status.
move. Oh, why are we not Angie?
It mirrored our status. It took our statuses from us.
But it took burn from us, which might have not been its best play.
I think it started with burn from the roll. The bad one we got was something else, I think. Sure, get some dodge.
That's a cute enemy. Look at it looking at it itself. Except the enemy that it sees in the mirror, it doesn't look like a mirror. I actually think that's a picture.
It's the picture,
suspect-
like the gray fox.
Yeah,
the fox
this
gray?
is hijinks.
The portrait
Fox,
of fox
comma,
gray.
gray. Portrait of Foxian. No, I can't hear Gray Fox without thinking of Oblivion.
Of Oblivion specifically? What is that?
Specifically Oblivion, yeah. The Gray Fox was like the end of the Thieves Guild quest line.
Right, I didn't really spend too much time in that. If I recall correctly, I went into the Thieves Guild. I stole all of the armor in there, which turned out to be worthless.
Oops.
Start battle enemy had 3 poison, or someone clicked Ghost Jar weirdly.
The consummate thief you tried to steal from the thieves. It's a mimic! Unbelievable. I don't think you could have seen this coming.
It's impossible to have told. We do have a potion though, right? So we can get our HP back up. I'm just trying to make sure that we don't randomly die to attrition at some point, you know?
It could happen for us. A couple bad rolls and we'll be suddenly dead. But I mean, we've embraced this lifestyle, frankly. How could we have expected that every chest was a mimic in the mimic dungeon? It's impossible to know.
If only we were given some hint. Lucky. The extra attacks on extra attacks is working out pretty danged well for us.
It's pretty ridiculous that we're allowed to just do this. We just need to get a better die in our attack slot. Bigger.
Yep.
Bigger number. When we do, are we going to put a dodge in our stat slot for safety?
A dodge in our stat slot for safety. Yeah, we should probably get another dodge involved at some point.
It's been pretty important, right? Yeah.
The extra attacks
Another
is so
mirror.
appealing, though. Do we want to pay
like that
2
with
maybe instead of HP for rolling extra die now?
You know, maybe we do that, actually. We are super loaded. Enemy has an extra attack? That's rude. Can't dodge all this. I like this fight because when we roll poorly, sometimes we give them our bad effects. But the fact that they take our anger and have an extra attack is really genuinely scary.
Yep. Legitimately could harm us. Oh, it can only attack? Huh. We're getting bopped. Bop, bop, bop. Oh.
Ooh,
I'm so glad I healed before this battle.
We might have to go back and try to get that thing off the ground.
Do you want to maybe use a doodle dash?
Yes.
Let's doodle dash. Got burned on the enemy, defended ourselves, got a dodge.
Nice.
Although they mirrored our status, so are they going to have the dodge? No, apparently not. They
had
did
a
get more
fake
angry.
dodge.
They got as angry as we were gonna get. Oh no. We must murder.
We're gonna have to kill immediately, or else maybe perish.
That's a 4.
That's what I like to see. That's one of our best numbers. Can we heal? I think the shop rolled no potion. One of them did.
Yeah, the one last floor, I think, attack with shield does gain a 2/4 attack dice.
What?
So if you use a
Attack.
shield die and it attacks, it gives you 2 to
or
4
is
attack
it-
die?
If you use an attack and it has a shield status.
We don't have that regardless, so I'm gonna click this one. Yeah, I think the blacksmith doesn't usually have a potion, but the other one had a potion this floor. I think the previous one at the end of the last floor didn't have a potion.
Was okay. Did we already buy the potion?
Yes. I
Where-
bought it,
where-
I think, as soon as we got here. Although, considering how close it is, could easily... Oh, right, that's the exit. Could easily just check. Potion is sold out. No, you were right. It was potion is sold out on this floor.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So do we have any modules that we can use to bail ourselves out? Because we have more fights to do, but we have very little.
That's an excellent question. I mean, we can sub the defensive one back in. What do we have in terms of the modules here? Interesting. So, okay, as you leave a floor, I theorize this might be the case at the time. When you leave a floor,
Yeah.
you're actually losing the excess dice and module that you do not have plugged in.
Wait, so what? Wait, we had some extra dice just a minute ago, though. I thought, because we did have a die that had charge on it. Remember?
On this
That
floor?
was one of our. Yeah, I thought so because we just on this floor, didn't we swap out one of the shield die? Thought so. Yeah, I may
I
be
do not
wrong.
recall. It's possible that we've run into something that has emptied
Mm-hmm.
them, or it's also theoretically possible it's a bug. I tend not to assume that to begin with at the absolute
No,
least.
I think that I agree with the maybe end of floor it clears analysis. Boss, baby. I fear for our lives. I'm not gonna lie.
It's okay. We're gonna roll real well here. Lucky turns make us
Enemy
charge.
starts-
They start poisoned. I also subbed the dodge die back in for
I
the
saw that.
stat die.
Gargo box. We're gonna just roll 4s and win.
Mm-hmm. That's how it happens. They've got attacking the shield inflicts 2 burn. They have a burn shield.
Oh no.
Okay,
Abandoned ship.
so we only burn if they actually hit us. So our dodges should be okay. We got 1 dodge. Total of 2, though. They roll burn shields.
They attack.
They attack for 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, the big one got blocked, which is great, or dodged rather. Big number, extra. Big.
Read all about it. Whew.
Okay, well, the strat continues to work, but it is starting to fray at the seams.
Just a touch. Is
Can
our
we
area clear
trade
as well as the
our
mini-boss?
51 gold, perhaps, for life?
What if
seek
we
simple.
we don't have the angel one there? We turned it down from the end of a fight, I think.
We did.
Boss captured. Interesting. Have we? I think we've missed a tile somewhere.
What the heck?
Where is the boss to capture?
That was the boss that we just fought, the Gargo box. Did we fail to capture it because we killed it some way?
I think it went into the jar at the end, so I don't know exactly. Or maybe there's just no... Oh, right. This usually doesn't trigger. This usually just says go to the boss floor, right?
Right.
And then this triggers
right.
afterwards, but there is no
This
boss
must
floor
be-
here.
That's because we're about to fight the boss. We need more attack for that.
Oh, of course. It's the only stat that matters.
There are no other stats.
Continue.
Here's hoping that we're allowed to get a potion.
This definitely
if not-
seems final.
We
I
may
don't
be
think
in
we
a
can
lot
get
of
a
trouble.
potion, though. Yeah. Doesn't look like it. Anything in the backpack?
Healing.
No,
It
it's
appears to
fine.
be quite empty. The ghosts got to it. Oh no. It's a coat cabinet. 11
Regen?
health is plenty.
Oh, they're burned, but they got 20% more HP.
I keep seeing 20% HP and thinking that's for us, but it hasn't been. All right, Polter Prince, you listen, and you listen up close. We are mad.
And we're not going to take it anymore.
Please don't attack us. You've got a shield. Use
4.
that. Hell. Oh.
4.
It's a big number.
4. I know those can't roll 4. It's just, I'm getting all of the non-4 4s out of the pool early
Oh no,
here.
we didn't get any dodge.
We didn't get any dodge there. Steel shield?
Steel shield.
What shield? You think we defend? You think we're fools enough to defend?
I don't think you understand who you're fighting against, baby.
We roll 4s, we roll dodge, we kill you.
Smash face. Smash face with damage. Yeah. There's a boss.
Yep.
Here.
Oh, we got a lot of
at 'em.
status effects on us right now.
What do they have? They have 99. What is that?
Steel shield, steel shield, steel shield, steel shield. Yeah.
Is this our recompense for all the mimics? We're the best.
Get him. Finger into air. Swag, swag,
We
swag.
the best. Bigger number now. Oh, GG.
We've just got a couple achievements here. Shout out specifically to the achievement we picked up. We captured every ghost during the mission because we ain't afraid of no ghost.
Nice. Look at our stats. Look, it shows us our rolls. 892 red dice rolls.
9 total shields.
That was like the first fight.
Oh.
And all the charge dice were just because we were getting charge dice almost every turn from rolling red dice.
Yeah, exactly. These just came along with these for free. Frankly, that's all that really happened there for us.
This is the strat.
It's was. Clear. Definitely for this run, this was definitely the strat. I do like the kind of summary screen that we're seeing at the very end here.
I do too. I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, so did I.
It's
got like a... It smooths out a lot of things. Obviously, things like, you know, what is a power dice, things like that. Like,
there's some stuff I don't know.
Exactly. But it also does provide an in-game glossary for all of the individual status things, which you would... Not you, but like viewers, you might be surprised how many games have very specific things for that and do not give you a glossary. It can be wild.
Yep.
I really enjoyed that.
I want the encyclopedia. I like the Monster Train style too, to where you can pull it up from anywhere, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've said that in Slay the Spire all the time. They've got this incredible compendium, but you can only look at it between runs, which is partly to do with the fact that maybe this is a tale for another time. It has to do with breadcrumbs and some various exploitable bugs and taking multiple rooms, and so I like this. Help in the game.
Now,
nice.
Typically, the question goes the other way first, but I will ask instead. What do you feel like we learned over the course of that run? It did feel like we were narrowing on something specific, but there's often things that you can take away from that. If there's anything, obviously you don't have to gin.
No, I mean, so I'm trying to decide in my brain whether I want to talk about general learning, like about the world and video games, or about specifically this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that a big thing that I saw in this game that I would be curious, because the question that I'm asking myself at this point is, what did I enjoy that I want to explore more? That's the seminal game question. I have now had the novel experience. What's my second experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's obvious is there are other characters with other play styles, although we used our special one time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would be cool to explore some of the other characters and how they play. But the big thing that I really noticed there is it seemed like there could be some emergent strategy around juggling dice and modules, except that it did also seem like they cleared at some point. And so that's something I'd really like to explore to see is that between every level, what exactly causes them to clear, because compiling some modules seems like it could be incredibly powerful, right? Like picking up that angelic guard or whatever it was called and just holding it in your pocket and then using it for a full heal when you're pushing. That seems awesome. Using the free upgrade right when you pick up a new die, like there's so many cool things you can do, right? So I think that it's less of what I learned and more of what I learned I could learn, is how much can we abuse those kinds of strategies, right?
That's that. Honestly, I think that is the kind of thing that, like, if there were ascension levels, like I'm using ascension levels as a shorthand to talk about scaling difficulty that requires
Stacking
that you
modifier.
play the game in a more specific way, not necessarily a hugely like, night and day kind of way, but it emphasizes the difference between a good play and a great play. I think that might be the area where juggling those kind of modules makes a lot more sense. I think my biggest takeaway was the game seems to provide a lot of circumstances through the status abilities, especially for you to get things outside of what you're typically doing. So it's probably not going to be a circumstance where you're like, I only roll attack and charge and they do all of my shielding for me. We were in a unique circumstance where we were barreled down just attack and found the ways to supplement that. Also, the character started with the ways to supplement that. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I always liked circumstances where, like, attacking is your primary way to deal damage, but it's also your secondary way to defend yourself. And then defending is your primary way to defend, but it also gives you a little bit of charge, right? Because it changes the kind of face of the decision making. And also, if you were to swap the die between those different things, you can do what you were talking about in terms of modules. Obviously, you meant the broader circumstances, being able to change in the middle of those kinds of circumstances. But you can do that with the die as well, for giving the wrong status effect to a different thing, knowing that you're going to defend here. Exactly. Man. And especially if the bosses are consistent, you'll know going to a boss like, I'm not going to go into the poltergeist and defend a huge amount right now.
Bear. Yeah, because they're just going to steal my shield. Well, in fairness, they didn't have many turns. And it looked like usually they'd have more turns, and it looked like they had more skills than just steal shield. It's just they got 2 moves.
Yes, they both times rolled the skill and 2, which seemed to be their shield. Right. Oh man. That was really enjoyable. Do you happen to know off the top of your noggin? If you don't, I can just jump over to it. Actually, in fact, I will just jump over to it right now, rather than demand it from you. I'm just quickly finding out. Yes. Okay. So, in Australian money, in the funny money dollary-doos that we have down here, this is $21.50. So I'm going to guess. USD. I was going to say 16.
I looked it up.
So 15 USD or your regional equivalent, you'll be able to find again. Link at the description down below. Is there anything else we usually do as a kind of takeout kind of situation?
Well, sometimes we get Chinese, but other times we get pizza. So it just depends on the day. I'm
an absolute pizza cretin.
I know. Trust me, I know. Because when we're recording, there's only one food item I've ever heard you say you were going to go get. I have spent many days recording with you, and the only food item I've ever heard you say, I'm going to go get X to put in my mouth, has been coffee and pizza. That's it.
I just love pizza so much. It's a circumstance of like, if everyone else is out of the house, I'll order a personal pan pizza and get a garlic bread and something like that. That's an easy decision for me, because that's dinner tonight and that's breakfast tomorrow morning.
Pan. So you're not about that super thick, floofy crust. You like the pan pizza.
Oh, here we'd call it deep pan, which is what I mean. I love a thick crust to it. Are you kidding me?
Okay, interesting.
There's dense flavors on top of it.
There's so much regionalism when it comes to these words, because here usually pan pizza refers to like a thinner crust pizza, which is fascinating.
Why?
And then deep dish pizza does exist, but deep dish pizza is like almost like it's its own thing. It's like Chicago style. It's more like a pie. It's that's really deep.
That's your swimming bowl, right? That's the one you get lost in, as far as I'm.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been Fuzz for Spook Squad. At some point, it became a pizza podcast, but up until that point, it was Fuzz for Spook Squad. There's also
the
all the links.
Got us.
Yeah, I am totally possessed by the Phantom of Pizza, and I also think I may have already decided what I'm going to have for dinner tonight.
I'm still in the coat cabinet. I mean, I may never get out.
The thing is, you have to not give him money and then run away. That's how we made our way out of that one. In the description down below, along with the link to the Steam Store page for the game, you will find it joined, kept company by all of the links for... Oh, wait, hang on. Opposite side this time. My lovely compatriot here, Sneaky Teak.
What am I? I'm not used to this place.
It is weird. It's a strange placement. But what have you been doing on stream recently? I know you've just come back after a week away.
Yeah, I just had vacation, which was delightful, and I got back and I played a round of Spire, which is like I never really get tired of the game. It's a perennial favorite of mine. And also, I've been playing the full release of Slipways. I had a little early access to it that I played this week, and then now the game is fully released for those who have perhaps been looking for it. The developer Jakob still has a few full release plans, like 2.0 plans, but you can play standard scenarios, you can play missions, and you can play endless mode now in Slipways, and that game is delightful. Described to me as a deconstructed 4X game. What if we took a grand strategy game and made it playable in an hour and also took away all of the warfare? Make trade not war. I actually think it's really great. It's a beautiful game. So I've been playing some of that and thinking about what to play next. I don't know. So many good games.
It's weird because Slipways is one that it is definitely something both of us have too much experience in to capture the ethos of trying to learn here. Although we could learn each other's play styles, but that's a completely different kind of thing. But it's something that it's
almost more like Ladder Streak, actually.
Exactly.
Slipways Ladder Streak.
I want just like a platform. I want a mountebank. I want it like just somewhere where I can spend 3 hours talking about all of the things in Slipways design that I find deeply, deeply appealing. Like the things that I can't stop an episode of Slipways to be like, okay, give me an hour. I'm going to monologue to camera about this. It may be the right location for that. Now, you can find a link to Sneaky Teak's Twitch stream. I'm looking for the segues constantly and finding them. They're down there in the description down below, as well as the YouTube channel, as well as the Patreon campaign too. Although you start these episodes, so I'm gonna let you take this one out.
How do we do that? I've never had to do this. I've been Sneaky Rhapsody. He's been Rhaps Teak. This is a great one. There's nothing bad. Go watch the other episodes. Bye. See you soon. Check the links. Bye-bye.
Adios.